Hey, thrifting is a gifting, and here's our gift to you. Presenting you some of the greatest thrift stores in your area. Coming at you, let's go. Hey, my name is Dornak. I am the video coordinator for Wiser Living, and here are a few thrift stores in Springfield, along with flea markets and antique shops. We absolutely love this subject because it allows us to be supportive of the community, so go out, spend some money, have some fun, and support our community. Also, you know it's coming, join our Facebook group. We always have a few extra good things that are going on over there, and you get the chance to get in on a few giveaways and other stuff we have going on. It is the place to be. Now let's begin with some of our favorites to help contribute to. One of our favorites is called Thrift Haven, and it sits on Glenstone Avenue. This place is cool, and I like to call it the Narnia Thrift because it is this tiny little store between the Dollar Tree and the Asian market. You go in and it just seems so small, and then behind that there's another room, and then another room, and every room gets bigger than the one before. It's kind of like, you know, entering through the wardrobe from the movie. It is crazy. What's so cool about this one is that all the donations are sent to Fairhaven's Children's Home in Stratford. This is a state-licensed foster home neighborhood care facility that provides a safe environment for children that have been victims of abandonment, abuse, or neglect. It is so cool how they help them, kids getting adopted, kids, you know, finding a home that they feel safe and protected. There's also the Blind Community Thrift Store. This one helps raise funds to serve the blind and visually impaired while also helping the community of Springfield. They also help give clothing and other items to those that have lost everything in a house fire, flood, or other emergencies. They also collect food for other local food banks, and they have a lot of clothing items, furniture, and other miscellaneous items that you can find. Now here's one for all of the animal lovers out there, C.A.R.E's Closet. This place is directly associated with C.A.R.E, a nonprofit animal rescue that helps with medical costs, spaying and neutering, vaccinations, and deworming for animals that they find. They do so much for these animals, and getting the chance to help out at this place will only benefit them. I also found a lot of pet products too. You know, it is an animal shelter that it's related to, so that kind of makes sense. This next one is a little bit different than ones you've seen before, and it's run by Habitat for Humanity. The store is called Restore, and it's basically a thrift store for a Lowe's type store. That makes sense. They have plenty of appliances and paint and other things that you can find. Here you can drop off your new and gently used appliances, furniture, building materials, household goods, and more. They sell so many things like paint, trim, furniture, washing machines, stoves, microwaves, bathtubs, cabinets. There's quite a few that you can find. The list really goes on, and if you're wanting to DIY something or fix something around your house, this is a good place to look to. This is definitely a place where you can come to where all the resources are being used well. There's also Christian Associates Thrift Store, which is a personal favorite of mine. This one is in Nixa and is a cute little building off one of the main roads. This place is cool because their profits directly contribute to the Mobile Food Pantry, Harbor House Domestic Violence Center, and other nonprofits in the area. You can even see the direct result of how many families they've served because they put it up on the board right behind the register. It is a wonderful little store with a good variety of things you can buy, and I really love this place, so you should check it out. Renewed Treasures is another that helps the community. This place helps women to stay free of incarceration, addiction, domestic violence, homelessness, and other life-controlling issues. They provide resources and help them develop tools to become productive citizens and restore family connections. Wow, I was really impressed by this store. As far as it goes, they have some really nice stuff in there, and it was in excellent shape. Also, on a weird note, it also smelled amazing, and if that doesn't pull you in, I don't know what you're doing, so. In Springfield, there are a few stores that you are bound to heard of anywhere over the US. Obviously, we have really big brand names like Goodwill and Salvation Army. They're spread across town. Those are pretty common thrift stores, but we also have a couple different chains like Red Racks. This one is a chain that exists mostly in the Springfield area and in the Kansas City area. You'll see a few of these around town. There are these big stores, and you can find really anything that you want there. Tons of clothes too, just like Goodwill. They've been pretty popular in the area. Now let's get into some interesting ones that kind of stand apart from all the rest. Another one of my favorites for all the cool things that they have is called Relics. This is like a flea market, but they have some really amazing items that come in great condition. One thing I thought was special is that some of the booths are really themed differently. Just look at this bohemian themed booth. That's the one I found recently. I thought it was pretty cute. It is a massive store too. It's actually Missouri's largest antique mall. They have more than 90,000 antiques and collectibles from over 500 dealers. And they even host events from time to time. You can also find a bunch of handmade products as well, like soaps, candles, and other goodies. It is an incredible place on top of this whole list. You never know what you might find that you can't live without, just like this thing. I'm just kidding, but seriously, you might find something. Another big store that I've really enjoyed is called Mike's Unique Collectibles and Antiques Flea Market. Whew, what a name. This is another big one with over 250 booths. One large section of the store is dedicated to furniture that you can buy from. This one feels like another that you could spend days in just trying to look at everything, and it's another one that you can find plenty of homemade goodies as well. I find that a lot of these nicer stores actually carry some personable items that give it a nice touch, so enjoy that. Now here's an office favorite, the Spring Creek Tea Room. This one we've talked about a few times before. It has a diner inside where you can eat together and then continue to shop throughout the rest of the store. It is a very charming place that I think even Jesse really enjoys going to. They have a lot of amazing baked goodies as well that keep them out front, cakes, cookies, pies. It is delicious. I've heard that it actually gets quite busy because of how popular it is, so you're gonna wanna go early so you can find a seat. 1672 Impulse will definitely catch your eye. Actually, is it Impulse 1672? Impulse 6072 will definitely catch your eye with the night that stands out front. If you live in Springfield, you probably know what I'm talking about. This is off Sunshine near the Plaza Towers. There's actually quite a few nights I feel like around town, but that's just me. You may even find the cute poodle that they have inside called Jax with 2 X's. You see him a lot online and he's a really cute dog. They have a number of different items for you inside, and even though it might be a little bit smaller, it has its own charm to it. I also want to mention the vintage Peddler. This has some of the best vintage items that you can find. Believe me, this is a gem that feels like it's out in the middle of nowhere, but is up near the colleges north of town. They also have Dirla's Furniture next door that sells discounted items, including furniture, obviously. They have their couches and chairs suspended up in the air, and when I first saw it, I just thought it was unexpected. I don't know why it struck me as odd. I just thought that was different. Just like, oh wow. Some areas you may want to check out involve the downtown and C Street areas. You have stores like C.A.R.E.'s Bazaar, forgive me if I butchered that, Decades Vintage Boutique, MJ's Flea Market, VTG 315, 417 Artifacts, and Gypsy Girl Junk, and Renewed Treasures, which we mentioned earlier. They're all in that area. You may even want to check out Gilmore's, which isn't a thrift store per se, but it has all that kind of stuff. As you move south into downtown Springfield, you can find shops like Next to New Shop, A Cricket in the House, Suddenly's, and Suit Yourself Boutique. Now let's say you don't mind the drive, but you do want a whole slew of thrift stores in an area. Well, I may have just found the perfect place for you. In Ozark, just south of town along Highway 65, there's a whole section of them. There's Kenai Antiques, Little Bluebird Vintage Boutique, Junk Barn, Camp Flea Antique Mall, and Foxwood Antiques. They even have a hotel right there, which makes me even wonder if people come just to see these places, which actually wouldn't surprise me because a lot of people are really into that. I've had a lot of friends say that these are some of their favorite areas to go to, and they have incredible taste, so you know that they're good. I also found a couple thrift stores with funny names. I just thought I would throw this in for the fun of it. My favorite is Freakin' Antiquin'. Hey, where do you want to go today? Let's go Freakin' Antiquin'. I see what you did there. I love that. You also have Junk from the Trunk and Republic. Then there's the Cricket in the House, which we have heard a lot of good things about. And then there's STD. Yes, you heard that right. It is STD, but it's actually Springfield Thrift Department. You're bound to hear a lot of jokes about this one, and it is kind of funny, admittedly. Now for you ladies out there that love to get rid of some clothes, we have a few resale shops for women like Plato's Closet and Uptown Cheapskate. Here you can sell some of your fashionable clothes and find something new for yourself, especially something cute. I have always loved going to these two stores. They have an endless supply of goods coming in at all times because you can go and sell your stuff. Another resale shop that you could always check out for the mamas out there is called Other Mothers, which sells baby clothes, kids clothes, and a few other items to choose from. Very, very helpful for finding what you need. Kids grow up so stinking fast, don't they? So that's a good place to go to. Now, some of these places I just mentioned actually sell some new items too, which does include Uptown Cheapskate. They get an overstock of clothes to sell from stores. Another place that does this is Chamber Sales. This is in Ozark, but here you can find a number of new items at a discounted price that have never been used before. I plan to go there someday for a sofa when I get the chance. Listen, there are so many different places. I know I probably didn't mention, don't get mad at me, there's a lot out there. If you know about it, please let me know because not for everyone else's sake, but for mine. So anyway, have a good day. I hope you find a good find for yourself. I'll see you later, alligator.